All right, guys, so I got something special for you today. So this is going to be my actual personal walkthrough on our 26 Sportage. This is our X-line. So this is exactly pretty much what you would get if you were actually my customer here at the store. So anytime I actually start showing a vehicle, what I always like to do is start here in the back. So as we make our way here to the trunk, there's two reasons I always like to start here. Reason number one, since no one's actually here to drive it today, I don't have it, but that's that license plate. So it's going to be legality. Once the license plate in, at that point, all tickets are on you, not me. Um, so moving forward from that point, second reason I always start here is going to be size, overall size. Now, we do have some carpeted floor mats that we would be able to put in prior to you leaving with your new vehicle. But the size is going to be the second biggest thing in the second starter, because I want to automatically make sure that this vehicle is going to have plenty of space for you and your family and everything that you need to do. Okay. So immediately, tons of space here in the back trunk. What we do have underneath is going to be our spare tire. So that is going to be a donut. We have 5 years, 60,000 miles worth of roadside assistance when it comes to that, standard with the Kia warranty. Okay. So if you ever had a flat tire, ever needed to get that taken care of, just have the peace of mind knowing that you can give a quick call to the roadside assistance. Someone will come out and actually get that tire on for you. Okay. Now, you'll see I can go ahead and pull this out and then slide it in to that bottom rack. So this is going to then open up these cubby spaces, gaining us about 2 extra inches of volume. You can then throw whatever you want into that. Now, typically you are going to have this just kind of in that up position. When it is in that up position, we then come to the side up here, and this is where we can then fold down our back seats. So very easily done just by a pull of the grab. You'll notice the left side fell all the way down. The right side simply did not, because the passenger seat's a little too far back. But at this point, we double our back storage space. Okay, so it absolutely phenomenal in terms of convenience. Plenty of room in terms of the holiday, Christmas buying, travel time, anything like that. Now, when we make our way over here to the side, this is going to be where things start to get nice. I'm going to go ahead and pop this back up. So you'll notice here on our X-line, we have a very fancy kind of design on our interior. So this is our leatherette X-line interior. Now, one thing that I always love to point out immediately is anyone, whether it be, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, the kids, doesn't matter. We now have these bag holders right here on the back sides of our headrest. So when we're either just hopping in and, you as, mom has the purse, instead of setting it on the floor, especially during wintertime where it's all snowy and icy, you can now just hang it there. Or when we're going to the grocery store and we just want to hang our breads to where they're not going to be getting smashed, fantastic spot to hold that. All right. Now, in the back here, let me kind of crawl in through here, pop this up real quick. So what you'll notice is that we have the ability to recline these back seats. So if you kind of get a look, that far side is going to be all the way upright, and then our closest side is going to be all the way reclined. So really giving that extra space in terms of that. Also in the back, you will have your armrest with cup holders here in the center, and then on the sides, on the back of each chair, you'll have your charger ports, and then you do have the vents for any back passengers. So basically all the amenities that somebody would need is going to be back there, again, making it very comfortable and easy for any back passengers. And then in terms of space, again, with this passenger seat pretty far back, I promise you'll never hear me say I'm not a fully grown man. I am lounging. Tons and tons of space. Again, you'll notice once I hop up in the actual front passenger seat, plenty of room to move forward as well. So never a lack of space. Now, as we move up to the front, passenger side in the front is going to be manually adjusted. So like I had said, in terms of this, so we can move it all the way up to the front where my knees are quite literally touching, and then we can have this all the way up. So obviously this chair was quite forward. This would be where I would comfortably be sitting. Now at this point, heated seats are going to be in both fronts, very easily done right here at the front. 1 presses all the way on, 2 is medium, 3 is low, 4 is back off. Now as we make our way over here to the front, most people are not opening up their hoods anymore, at least all the time checking it. If you don't mind hanging out right here, let me go ahead and pop this up. Now, anytime I look under here, me personally, I mess with one thing as a consumer, and that's going to be your windshield washer fluid. Okay, so right here's where your windshield washer fluid is on our X-line. Anything beyond that, I do always recommend bringing to service. It is their #1 job. We actually have a phenomenal service team as far as that goes. I always forget the exact rating, but I think they're second in our region, if not our potentially the U.S. I'll have to double check on my facts there. But anything beyond this, again, I always recommend doing that. If you are someone that likes to check their oil, you can do so right here at our dipstick, and then you can top that off here. Safety is the #1 thing that I always like to point out under here. So as we're running our hand across here, this is called our crumple zone. So that is going to, if we were ever to take an impact, take that force, disperse it out, minimizing what's actually going to be given to the passenger. Okay. And then one step further, if we were to, God forbid, hit that deer 60 miles an hour on the back roads, and or if, come check this out, you know, get into that accident, we have our engine breakaway mount here. So if we were to receive that big frontal impact, instead of that engine getting shoved up into your legs, you know, crushing you and doing some bad things, it's going to drop down and avoid that ideally. Okay. So phenomenal things that help Kia have great safety ratings. Now, the big fun part where obviously you're going to be hanging out and spending all of your time. Oop, I'm sorry. Hold on. Appearance wise, check that thing out. First and foremost, they've updated our headlights. So instead of having our boomerang fronts, they used to start here, come here, and go down. They've now switched it up to a more, in my mind, kind of saber-tooth look. Front safety on our X-line, we now have our front sensors that are going to provide warnings if we're pulling up into the garage, if we're pulling up to the car at the gas station, wherever it may be. So in terms of overall convenience, again, really coming above and beyond for the passenger. Now, this is where you're going to be spending all of your time. We do have power adjusted seats here in the driver's seat. So with lumbar, making it again extra convenient for you. All right, guys, so I wanted to hop in and kind of show you a little bit more directly about what you're going to see at the steering wheel. So top left corner is going to be your cruise control. So when we're doing 70 miles an hour on the freeway, and that's what we want to set it to, one press of our button is going to then set it at speed. You will see that pop up above here, like this will change, and it'll be your cruise control settings. Right below that's going to be how we adjust our speed, okay? So we can pop it up or down for individual increments of 1 mile per hour, or press and hold for 5 miles per hour, okay? Tapping in, so pressing in, would actually pause that cruise control, allowing you to coast and or retake over. Anytime you press the gas, again, you'll always take over, so it'll never be something that is overtaking you as the driver, right? The adaptive portion is super awesome. So that's going to then use our camera up here behind our rear view mirror to then sense our vehicles in front of us and make sure that we're never getting too close. So that way it would actually, let's say the car in front of us is doing 60, it would register that car in front of us, and that would actually slow us down to maintain that distance. So there's 4 different settings there. As we move up to our top, you'll notice in our center screen here, all of this is going to be changing. Again, the flashing is not actually happening. And then if you notice right here, I can actually kind of scroll through these options here with our little scroll dial. We, of course, have our horn. It does work. Modes here on the side, you'll notice first time using, it'll give us our options to actually customize what we want there. So again, choose what you want. You have a few different options in terms of what it cycles through. This is then going to be individual songs as far as that goes, or kind of what you're looking at there. Customize button, the first time you press it, again, pops up what you want to use it for. So you have plenty of options here. Me personally, I always use it to kind of shut the screen off. So display on and off. That way, again, nighttime driving, you just don't want all of that stuff there. It's super easy. We then move to our in-car AI kind of talk to text, right? So it does work in the sense of, you know, call this person, call that person, direct me here. But once your phone's connected, especially iPhone is what I have personally, base it off Siri, press and hold, activate Siri, gets you whatever you need to do. In terms of Android Auto, I assume the Google Assistant works the exact same way. And then in terms of volume, so again, we can scroll down to lower our volume and or scroll up. So you see how easy that is. And then again, one tap in does mute it. So it makes it extremely simple. All right. And then we can go ahead and end our calls or accept our calls all right here. And kind of last but not least, this is our all-wheel drive X-line. So again, we do have multiple drive modes. Normal, sport, my drive just gives you different options in terms of how the car responds to the throttle response. And then over here during bad weather, terrain mode, press it once to optimize. Second one actually gets you into those screens, and then that'll change between snow, mud, and sand. So it really just kind of changes on what's going on. Oops, little touchy over here. My bad, my bad. Again, the horn does work. All right, and over here, we have our screen brightness, so you can decrease, increase as far as you like, turn off your traction control, and then here's where we're actually going to pull towards us to activate our parking brake. You will see that signify right here. Foot then has to be on the brake. To turn this off, you press it in. You will see that then go away. All right. I do always recommend keeping your lights on auto. That way you never have to worry about it in terms of that. Now, the biggest learning curve here on this model in particular is going to be our dual climate and media screen. Okay. So you'll notice right here, we have red and blue over both. That's going to be doing our temperatures. So you'll notice temperature on each can be different because this does have dual climate. Now, as soon as you go ahead and press that sync button, it syncs up, everything will be controlled by the driver. And then as soon as that passenger goes ahead and changes whatever they want, again, that can then offset it, and you do have to hit sync back again to get that going. Now, in terms of the fan speed, you'll notice this is right where we have to change that. And then this right here is where we change where it's blowing to. So very simple. It's just that first week or two, it is a little bit of a learning curve, especially once we come in here, our red and blues go away. We're now dealing with volume and then station, okay? So why I say this is the biggest learning curve is you're going to be in here and you're going to try to turn up the heat and you're going to blast yourself with some music, and or vice versa. You're going to try to turn up the music and you're going to blast yourself with the heat. So again, very easy to use, but it is going to be that biggest learning curve coming here into the vehicle itself, okay? Now, on your main display here, this is going to be radio, phone connection. Phone projection is going to be the wireless Apple CarPlay and or Android Auto, okay? So you won't have to worry about that. Everything kind of through here, very simple. Valet mode would be through the Kia Connect, allowing you to kind of lock your vehicle's private information during valet service. Vehicle diagnostics, just showing you a little bit more information in terms of the vehicle's current status. You can actually kind of manage your service maintenance here, look at certain notifications, get your online manual, and then do in-depth kind of setup through all of the systems here. Vehicle itself is going to be safety. Sound's going to be as is in terms of its sound. Device will be where you connect all of your new stuff. User profile is the individual guest, driver one or driver two, how you kind of go about that. Screen layout allows you to kind of play with this individual screen over here. Display, again, kind of allows you to change a couple of the things here. Buttons is going to be more or less for your star button here, your star button here, and then your other buttons up here as well. Cluster is going to be correlated to our color scheme here, and then Kia Connect will be more or less the app service. General is going to be where you get all of your date and time information and kind of system information. If this video has been any type of help to you, you've enjoyed it so far, definitely make sure to hit the like button below, comment, leave your comments below. I said that twice. Don't mind me. It's basically the first time I'm doing this. So definitely hope you enjoyed it, and talk to you soon.
Like and subscribe.
Ah! I totally forgot the floor mats on the ground. Ugh.